Was Fortnite Showdown good? Yeah, I'd say so. Thanks for watching.
Wake me, I'll love you tomorrow. You leave me breathless and hollow. Lately, that's a pill to swallow.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyways, hello everyone, Roby here, and today I'm going to be looking at Showdown to answer the question of, was it good? Me personally, I loved it. But before we get into anything, I'm going to lay down some ground rules. Number one, this is all my personal opinion. If you disagree with anything, that is perfectly fine. And two, I'm a casual zero build player who plays on console. Now, with all that said, go and grab your rival and join me as we answer the question of, was it good? Now, yes, I know this video is 2 days late, but I just wanted to get something out, and also it was going to be on Saturday, a day after the event ended, but everything I had got deleted, so if this video seems rushed, you know why.
The stage is set. You chose your side. This ends now.
Starting with the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass this season was amazing. At level 1, you had Ice King, and this is how you do a reskin epic. Literally everything in the set, minus the wrap, was a reskin. Then, moving on, you had Lady Windfrost. She's another amazing skin, with an amazing jam track. Squibbly. He's another amazing skin, even though I barely use him. His entire character is just devoted to hating on Fishstick, and I love it. Then there's Dasha. I think I just said the same thing twice, but I don't know, however you pronounce her name. She seems like a rushed and last-minute decision, as you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, all around a good skin. I do like her biker helmet, though. Then you had the fraud himself, Foundation. Foundation is a good skin in my opinion. It grew on me, that's for sure. But one complaint, why is there plastic and why does he have a jacket? So technically two. Because the plastic makes the jacket look weird. Or not the jacket, but I guess the jacket, but it also makes the cape look weird. Then there's the Order, which is a way better skin than her old one. She finally got a different haircut, and I love it. She even has a fat ass. And there's Jules, the Mechanic Tech Mother as well, in a slick black outfit with her survey outfit on her second page. Lastly, there was...
Oh my god, it's Bugs Bunny!
Upon purchasing the pass for the first week of the season, you would get a purple foundation style. Now, part of me believes they only did this just to get people's minds off the layoffs, which I did an entire video on if you want to go check it out if you're that invested in it. But Bandit came to the conclusion, my friend, they did this to match the Order's second style, which I kind of agree with, because if you look at it, it matches. Then I came to the conclusion that since Ice King is level 1, Foundation was given to you at the start, so no matter who you picked, you would have their style at the end of the season if they won. Oh yeah, and did I mention that there's showdown styles for Ice King and Foundation? If you pick Team Foundation or Ice King, at the end of the season, you'd be rewarded with their respective style. Now, just like last season, there were super styles, which is the same as any season. But just like last season, these super styles don't work on the styles you get from the challenges. It's stupid. I don't know why they keep doing this. They're just so lazy. And speaking of which, the styles are for Jules, Ice King, and Foundation. Jules is for any BR mode minus OG, and Foundation and Ice King were locked to BR. So, pretty cool. Glad they took some feedback on those.
Cast the line and wait till the fish stick pay.
Then, the map. The map this season was just amazing. Every single POI was just so good. At the start of the season, there was 4 brand new POIs. The new Sanctuary, which was an updated version of Classified Canyon, but 7 themed. Then there was Dark Dominion, which was an updated version of the POI in the middle. Then there was Squibbly Shores, which, oh my god, this POI is amazing. You had the lighthouse that I love to call the Dino Squad lighthouse. Epic, please make it happen. And the aesthetic was just, oh, I could yap about this POI for hours. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. And the last POI added on day 1 was Frigid Fortress, which was an updated version of the Ice King Castle. You see a theme here? 3 of the POIs were updated of old POIs. And additionally, later in the season, there was another POI for Save the World, which I'll get to later. Anyways, there was also a landmark for the Elites building, I guess, and Tip Top Terrace. Remember that from last season? Or the season 1? Yeah, they straight up Lorax that shit this season. Now, of course, how can you have a season without the gameplay? The gameplay this season was amazing. But firstly, to witness it, you must already have to play with your party. God, I hate that feature so much. Anyways, the first major part of the gameplay this season was driving the battle bus. Just like last season with surfing, this season you could drive the battle bus. With that, there was interesting names that came with this. I'll probably put one on the screen, but yeah, there were interesting names that came with this. The next major gameplay feature was the rivalry system. It worked like bounties from Chapter 2 to Chapter 4. If you got one, someone random in the match would be marked on the map. If you kill them, you'd win. If you die, you lose. And let's say someone dies before you get there. Then their contract would drop and you could pick it up. Same goes vice versa. Then also, let's say you win a rival and you get in a match with them again later. That would trigger the rematch system. Additionally, by winning these rivals, you get rivalry credits that you could spend at the rival boards for heals, upgrades, XP, whatever. But the neat thing is, the team you picked by winning rivals would earn score to said team. So, let's say you picked Foundation. By winning a rival, you would gain progression for Team Foundation. And there was 3 major acts alongside an epilogue totaling 4 with this. For Act 1 on Foundation, you had the sniper rifle, which was the rift gun but in a sniper form. You had golden fishing spots, which there were also exotic fishing spots at Squibbly Shores. If you fished it, you would get the keycard for the lighthouse. Then there was the Foundation Vault keycard, or Sanctuary, I mean. Then there was the 7 cluster cannon, which was the cluster clingers in the form of a rocket launcher, and the 7 power gloves, which were just reskin versions of the Nitro Fists. If you fought for Ice King, you would get the Ice King gauntlets, you'd get the Ice King Vault keycard, you'd get a mythic harpoon that had 100 damage with it and a longer range, with additional 10 uses, so totaling 20 instead of the normal 10, and you also got the Slapperoni Pizza and the Stabilized Rift Anomaly, which was basically the Back to the Future Rift Anomaly from last season. For Act 2, Foundation, you got the Super Shredder Shotgun, which was basically the Wrecker Revolver, but as an actual shotgun. Then you had the Save the World base expansion, which is expanded on a POI. The Cube Rifle, which I don't know what Jules was thinking making this because goddamn was it annoying to fight. And lastly, you had the winds thing. I don't know how to describe it. If you fought for Ice King, you got the Requiem from Resident Evil. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's just called the Hammer Revolver. I like to call it that though because it's similar. Then you got the Recon Scanner and Wind in the Ice Biome. Yeah, the last one this act was kind of random and filler. Hell, the entirety of Act 2 was filler. It was mostly just reload stuff. As for Act 3, however, it was major. But I'll get to that in a moment. Outside of the axe, there was also regular items for the new season, such as the Chaos Reloader, which had one bullet and did insane amounts of damage, with the Dark Voyager shotgun having two. And you got that by killing the Dark Voyager boss, the rest by floor loot, chests, whatever. It would also reload even if you didn't have it equipped. There was a new dynamite item that was just a bomb.
For Sledge.
And then there was the DMR, which was just a sniper, I guess. I don't know. And lastly, there was the shockwave grenades that basically worked like regular shockwaves, except launched you a shorter distance and gave you unlimited sprint. The mobility item of the season also, so I lied, there's two mobility items, was the Skyline Deployer. It would shoot a zipline wherever you'd want to go. Beside this, the loot pool this season was entirely different from season 1. Like, we had the Thunderburst SMG, Combat AR, like mythic goldfish. Like, the loot pool this season was just like random bullshit go. That's the best way I can explain it. And it worked. It made for a fun loot pool. There was also the staying items of the season, which was the dual hammer shotguns and the iron pump shotgun. Alongside all of this, there was a April Fool's update where you would get pew pew rifles with your fingers, essentially, is called the finger guns, but everyone calls it pew pews, or at least in my group chat, or me. Then your heads were big, you could put people on your shoulders, or I guess your back, and you could ride llamas. Lastly, there was Zero Build 2.0, or so everyone calls it. Basically, what it was instead of dying from fall damage from a wicked high height, you would now only survive at 1 HP. Unless if you're Tim the Tap Man. Then they replaced porta bunkers with bricka bunkers, I guess. I don't know why. There was also pocket items that you could exchange. And you spawn with a shockwave with a 30-second cooldown that you could exchange at vending machines for either shield bubbles or med mist. Now, about that Act 3 I mentioned.
This mean Overwatch is back?
No.
Do not fear, because the cavalry is in fact here. Or at least it was. Overwatch is Act 3 of the Showdown. And I honestly don't know how to feel about this. I love Overwatch, but I don't think it deserved an entire section. It kind of served as like an event pass or a mini season. And I mean, sure, it was fun, but god damn was it filled with so many bugs. You had the Tracer pistols, which did all of this.
Great, so I just want to make a quick video talking about how broken and buggy this new update's been, and more specifically how broken the pulse pistols and the kinetic blade are. So we have the pulse pistols and the kinetic blade currently in the loot pool right now, and both of them have different movement related glitches. So I'm going to just really quickly do the first one, which I'm sure everyone's aware of, where if you're using the pulse pistols and you throw the item like that, hold the swap and hurdle at the same time, your item drops while you have it in your hand, right? And if you just wait a moment, you'll be in this weird glitchy state. There it is there. We gotta wait just one more time for it to do the other glitchy state. All right, there we go. So now that I've swapped it, like we all know this bug that, by the way, is bannable, so don't do this in pubs. Not only that, guys, if you use the kinetic blade's dash attack while sliding like this, you get insane speed. Like, look at that. Look at this. And then you can combo it with this. Like, that is insane. They need to fix both of these, man.
Then there was the Mercy Staff, which was just used for people to run away. And on top of that, there was an exotics for all the other characters, which I'll get to in a second. I just want to get this out of the way. They also added in the ability to use the Reaper mask, or not Reaper mask, but that's what it's supposed to represent. You could like, it's the teleporter from Chapter 6, where if you throw it, you would teleport. So this update was just annoying. Now about those exotics. As I mentioned, there was the Mercy Staff and Tracer Pistols, but there was exotics to represent other characters. Dual Hammer Shotguns to represent Reaper. There was an exotic Pulse Rifle to represent Soldier 76, an exotic Lightning Gun to represent Winston, or in Overwatch terms, Wintin, and lastly, there was an exotic bow to represent Hanzo. There was 3 milestones this act. The first one on Ice King was the payload. The second one was a loot box to give you said exotics. And the last one was a spray. Yeah, I don't know why it was a spray, but who knows. As for Foundation, it was the ship that would act like the Quinjets. It would fly around in the bus and land on the map. Then it was loot boxes again, and just another spray. So all around, minus the first rewards, it was just the same stuff for both teams, so best of both worlds, I guess. Ice King ended up winning all 3 of the acts, including Epilogue. So at the end of the season, he was the one that got the style. Go Ice King!
See him now, right? A member of the seven, but it hasn't been easy. Let me tell you his progression.
Now on to the lore of the season. The lore of the season was fairly interesting, and it's safe to say that we're back. Like, so fucking back. Ice King and Foundation had their beef, which never really went anywhere until the event at least, which I'll get to in a moment. Then, there was side stories like Fishstick and Squibbly beef, Dasha apparently being an ex-IO agent, and Dasha apparently pissing in the water of Wonkyland, and Wonkyland being fucking purple guy? What? Yeah. There was also weekly quests that told the story, but those were not really that important. So the lore of the season did not have much, but it was still interesting. The fate of the 7 also got revealed, with our visitor, Scientist, and Origin being lost to the Chrome. Paradigm was sacrificed to Zero Fusion. Fuck me! So yeah, that's the lore of the season. There were also the elites, but they didn't really do anything. All they did was recruit Daigo, Jules, and Zadie, and just simply exist, I guess. Now, about the event. There was so much that went on in this event that, you know what, fuck it, give it its own title card.
Fight for glory, change the story. Better watch out, better start to worry. Fight for glory, change the story.
The event this season was amazing. It was titled Shattered. The event that decided it all. The event where the winner takes all, Team Ice King fought for the throne, and Team Foundation fought for honor. However, it was a bit different than the normal event we're used to, because for one, it was at 7 p.m., and normally the events are at 2 to 4. And for 2, depending on which side you chose during the showdown, it actually decided on how you viewed the event. If you picked Foundation, you would spawn near the Battlewood sign, and if you picked Ice King, you would spawn at Frigid Fortress, where Frigid Fortress had parkour, and Foundation really didn't have anything. All you could do was unlock a zip line to go up out of your little bat cave or whatever. This was also the first event to feature no collabs, unless if we count the Rock's Face or the Infinity Blade. If you attended the event, you got a free pickaxe, and if you brought a friend, you would get the Voyager's sidekick. Well, technically, because the event was a bit buggy, so they just gave the sidekick out to everyone anyway. Now enough yap, time for the event. Where do I even begin? This event was the best event we have had in a long time. Maybe since 0 Hour, but that was mostly just collab slop. I don't even know what to say. I can't even put this into words. Firstly, it continued the showdown between Ice King and Foundation, with Ice King winning, being the fucking Chad he is, and Foundation losing because fuck your contract, Foundation, or Rock, whatever you go by now. So that was awesome. Also, Geno is fucking back.
This looks so good. This looks better than a cinematic, you know what I mean? Oh! Wait!
Oh my God.
Am I right?
It was a betrayer.
It's a betray. I knew it. No way. Oh! Oh! Oh my God! I called it! I called it! Oh my God!
I called it.
Oh my God!
called it.
I called it! I called it! Holy fuck!
Called it.
I knew it! Guys! Holy shit! Holy shit! What? What?
Dark Voyager also did betray Ice King, so no side really won. It was just Dark Voyager in the end. So, yeah, interesting stuff.
Is it taking over my mind and taking a heavy hit?
Now, as for my overall thoughts, I thought the season was great. Ted wasn't kidding when he said the season was going to be an all-timer, because this is personally my new favorite season. A few complaints here and there, but not enough to take away from the season for me. And I'm sorry, Remix, but you've been dethroned. You're now my second favorite season. I genuinely had so much fun this season. Even my group chat had its own showdown going on. It even had its own acts. That's how good it was. Anyways, jokes aside, it's going to be hard to top this season because they had so much content. Some may even say too much. I'm looking at you again, Season 1. Anyways, this season just had so much stuff that I like that I'm just biased towards. Like Ice King, Somerset, NF, etc. The community also being divided was hilarious, because some made so many allegations for Ice King or Foundation, it makes you wonder, how do they think of this stuff? Anyways, the last thing I have to say is the song they used for the season. It was Position to Win by Migos. It's such a great song, I play it all the time. Now enough about my opinions, what about my friends?
Can we hang out sometime? I'm living 2 feet behind my eyes and everything that I have tried.
First up, we have Dub.
Hey, Sharks! Wait, I keep doing it again. I'm sorry, Robo. I didn't even realize I was here. Anyway, Robo asked me to talk a little bit about what I thought of the Fortnite season. Now, I had my own video planned. You should go check it out. But I thought I'd do a little rundown here, TLDR in a way, of what I thought of the season, what I loved and disliked. So let's get right into it. Honestly, from the battle pass to the story, loot pool, map changes, lore, and so much more, I am honestly blown away on how good they did with this season. This season to me is probably in my top 10, maybe in my top 5. I think the map changes were really good, and the POIs that they did change that weren't really new felt unique enough to be considered new. And the original POIs like Squibbly Shores and Frigid Fortress, mwah, chef's kiss. I love it. Squibbly Shores is peak! Now moving on, the loot pool kept changing. Every week there was a new thing to try. With the unlocks in the rivalry systems, getting new weapons every other day, it felt great. And every update that they came out with this season was a breath of fresh air. There was so much content. Some could say too much content. And the fact that Act 3 was the biggest of them all with Overwatch stuff, not only did they add Overwatch guns and the staff, or the pulse pistols, I should say, they brought in weapons that related to the Overwatch lore. That's just awesome. Like, even if they couldn't add a bunch of Overwatch weapons, they still had the representation there. Speaking of the rivalry system, what an amazing concept of changing the bounty boards to be something that's actually integral and important to the season. It made sense. It helps you unlock all these milestones in Act 1, 2, and 3. Now, sure, some of those milestones might have not been the best in my opinion. A little bit of them in Act 2 and a couple in Act 3, especially the sprays in Act 3 for Overwatch, could have been better. I still think it was really cool that we got new content instead of everything just being handed to you in the first week or two of the season and having it feel more dry by the end of the season. Now, the battle pass, I thought Chapter 7 Season 1's battle pass was really good. This one just blows that one away. In the park, home run style. Every single skin in the battle pass was, I loved every single one. And I know I picked Ice King, but the Foundation's design was sick. The Ice King's design was amazing. The Order, Jules, Dasha, Bugs Bunny, Squibbly, Lady Windfrost, all amazing. Now there's so much more I could bring up here, but just to keep it short and simple, I think this season was really good. There were so many positives that outweighed the negatives. The only negative things I can think of were, again, some of the milestones weren't the greatest. There might have been too much movement, and the bugs. The bugs and glitches probably was the worst thing about this season. But as Robo and I said before, typically the best seasons have the most bugs. But anyway, guys, I think this season's great. And for everything I just said, I would rank this season a 9 out of 10. But anyway, guys, I better go back to taking care of Floppy Disk. And he's probably wondering where the hell I am. So I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!
And secondly, we have everyone's favorite pickle puffer, Bandit.
So, the showdown has come to a conclusion. Ice King has probably beaten Foundation 4-0.
Dr. Johnson is still looking for you, delicious. Dr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Johnson, for your involvement there. Fortnite Runners is just over the horizon. And I will try not to take up much of your time, but I am going to just synopsize my opinions on the acts that we had this season. Act 1, the start of the showdown. Pretty good start to the season. The community, oh my god, the community, they were a blast with how split they were. Like, we had the frauds over at Team Foundation and the peak people over here at Team Ice King. While we at Team Ice King were handing you pizza and all these healables to keep you alive, Foundation was giving you weaponry. Like, oh yes, what use will that be after this showdown is finished, huh, Dwayne? And Act 1 ended with us getting keycards for the vaults at New Sanctuary and the Frigid Fortress. Or right outside it, anyway. Act 2, I would like to say it was pretty good, but that is kind of a overstatement. It was kind of blech. Act 2's only real surprise was Save the World going free to play and the new reload map. There was nothing really for Battle Royale wise that was new, aside from a Save the World POI getting bigger. Like, that was it really, and even then that's bloody boring. But then we go over to the fun one, aka Overwatch, Answer the Call. To celebrate the 10th anniversary of the game, Overwatch, obviously, Blizzard Entertainment made a collaboration with Fortnite to add their characters to the game.
Maybe Blizzard could have done a better collab, better 10th anniversary for their own game,
But complaints about other video games aside, the act was pretty fun. Obviously, yes, there was that infamous bug with Tracer's pistols where you just became God, apparently. I never experienced it, but good lord, that looks terrifying to even fight. Both sides gave us a pretty good amount of rewards. 2 sprays, which get given to both sides anyway, so cool. We had a anomaly, which is basically the push game mode, where you push the payload, but the payload comes from the hybrid map King's Row, which is actually referenced at Sandy Strip. But basically, the attacking team has to claim the point, and then they have to move the payload to the end, while defenders have to stop them. You know, Overwatch, shooty shooty bang bang. Collaborations, obviously, aside from Overwatch, which I really loved, we had like collabs for the Showdown series, amounts of cups like Phineas and Ferb, Looney Tunes, Game of Thrones, Toy Story. We had all that, and I actually think my favorite collab didn't come from any of them. They actually were around the midpoint and the start point of this season. We had Iron Man, like the MCU, like Iron Man, that was from the 2008 film, specifically the Mark III, and also Captain America, but I was more Iron Man fan than, you know. And then in the middle ground of the season, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I want more WWE collabs. Tim Sweeney, if you are listening to me, give me Seth Rollins and Bayley.
But all in all, I think this season was definitely up there with the season 2s. I would definitely say it is a solid top 5 season of mine. It doesn't beat Galactic Battle or Shock and Awesome for me.
Although to some others it would, but who cares about them? It's my opinion. You can have yours, I can have mine.
And I do hope that season 3 can deliver on trying not to curse itself like its previous brothers. But, what do you know? It's a summer season. We'll see. So, this closes Bandit here. And unlike Dub, where I have a code to promote, which I don't, I might as well just let someone else take the wheel. So let me give you his closing thoughts. Come on in, Dr. Johnson.
Oh yes, it is me, Dr. Johnson. I am now going to close out the segment of Bandit. I may be a snapshot of Dwayne the Cock Johnson, but I am so much better than him. I am the Mice King. I am superior in every way. And if you do not believe me, then I am coming for you. Oh yes, coming.
Okay, no, he's not coming for anyone. Dr. Johnson has now closed it, and this has been the Banana Bandit, having his thoughts on Chapter 7, Season 2, Showdown. I hope to see you all in the following season, because I think it's time that we catch ourselves some runners.
Now, on to the community's opinions. I put out a post asking people for their opinions, and these are the responses I got. Not much, but still some. Maximo said, I enjoyed some of it. Collabs played a big role, which was interesting. The first 2 acts got old fast to me, but the current one is so much fun, which he's referring to the Overwatch one, because at the time of me recording this, that's over. Then What If said, What If's a bitch? It was a top 5 for me, tons of content except Act 2. It had stuff but was filler. It always had something, and if you took a break, you came back for fun, you would have fun. And I totally agree. Toxic Trooper here said, it had its ups and downs. In my opinion, it was like Season 5 with the collabs, but had a better way in doing them. It wasn't terrible season, but it had some negative things like some weapons and some features, but all in all was a fun season. I also totally agree. Last reply here said, this season was more lore focused, and while having a solid helping of collabs, it still had potential. Sonic vs. Shadow, anyone? Gameplay wise, this is an exciting, fast paced season. Matches blink fast, faster than light, but it's a good direction. I can't ignore Epic, however. Obviously talking about the layoffs here. Anyways, everyone, sorry for the somewhat rushed video. I just wanted to get this out because I love the season so much. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Or for this video, I should say. I will have a video of the future of this channel later, today, tomorrow, whenever I upload it, because it's going to be a big one for the people that care about this channel. But yeah, anyway, it's been Robo. Read the Gifted on Inspired, link in description, pin comment, whatever I decide to do, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.